As a piece of drama, Hopes of the Living Dead is a brilliant piece of art. It's a brilliant piece of work because all my life I have wanted my whatever I did. I've always wanted it to have meaning. So always mean something to a group of people, a large group of people, a small group of people, and over time that has grown into me representing people with my art, my music, my acting.
First of all, when I saw, because I think we're supposed to do Wole Soyinka's A Dance of the Forest. Yeah, so I read the play. Although the ending was a bit ambiguous, I could not even really understand what the whole play was about. But it was an exciting play because it's one of the things we want to do as a class. The aesthetics, doing the traditional plays, different costumes, different characters, and all that. So it was something that was really exciting for the class. But the play was withdrawn because of the time that we had. We just had like a few weeks of rehearsals.
And I think at first everyone was like, why are we getting this play? I mean, so everyone wanted an energetic play like Shango and something rich in culture. Like we wanted an African play rich in culture and songs and dance and something that had like beautiful spectacle that would allow us to wear glamorous costumes and would just look beautiful. Yes, would look good on stage and all of that.
And immediately I saw the summary of the play being about lepers that were marginalized, that were cheated. I immediately got interested in it. And from there, yes, that was when my interest began in the play as a book. And I think it's brilliant because it's by one of the greats, Ola Rotimi, definitely. As a work of art, Ola Rotimi's work is bound to be good. But delving into the script the more, I think it was intentional. The way the playwright wrote it, he wrote it with a very personal tone. So it's not just another book for him. I think from the way I saw the script, or from the way I read it.
There's this rush of ideas. There's always this rush of ideas. Mostly when you possibly see the title and you look at the title and you are trying to decipher what the play could be about. Then you go to the first page, the second, the third, and when you get to the end of the play, there's this rush of ideas. Okay, how do I do this? And there's this one idea that sticks out. How do I do it differently from possibly what other people have done, or possibly what the play is about? How do I communicate this message to my present generation?
We fool ourselves if we think that the world outside will allow us to continue to be as one block, together in one place. Children of our fathers are stronger as God.
So reading the play, there were mixed feelings in the class. That sort of affected the way we saw the play initially, because it was just like, it seemed very familiar or similar to a play we had done in 200 level, a virgin script we worked with in 200 level, Cambly. So reading it, I was like, okay, I actually don't mind this. And I was also struck by the fact that there are a lot of male characters, there aren't a lot of female characters, and my class has, let me quote the director, stronger female actors than male actors. So that sort of affected the way I saw the script initially. But after, I think we had 3 readings. After like the 3rd reading, I was set that I liked the play. Like, I felt it was something that could come out beautifully on stage.
I was a bit skeptical because I wasn't really a fan of Ola Rotimi's works. I read Wole Soyinka and Femi Osofishan and some other playwrights. So Ola Rotimi, I was just, okay, what is he going to be about? I never even knew it was about leprosy. I just saw, okay, Hopes of the Living Dead, a drama of struggle. I never knew it was about leprosy. But when I read the play, I read it once, and I was like, well, it's interesting. Something we could do as a class. It's a really interesting play. But I wasn't the core of the play, that leprosy, the disease. I did not even see it as something important. So I was just moving with, okay, yeah, it's something. It's a drama of struggle. It kind of talks about our present society. It's something we could do. But it was later on during the production that I found out that I had a chat with the lecturer in charge, Dr. Tunde Awusomi. So explained some of the core messages of the play. That is when for the first time I understood how vital the disease was, and what I was trying to represent as a director and what we were trying to represent as a class. We're trying to represent a marginalized group of people. So I never saw it that way. I was just seeing it as a play, trying to think about different artistic styles and all that to put it on stage.
How did one and the rest of them from over and get my train? Half train, half food. You see, I hid my body in the cold going on. Cold train, peaceful. But you see, coming back, hey, in a boat with cars. Those blood cows, they roll and kick forever. One night, the train gas came round to you, and they saw two men, one woman, inside the coach with cow leg and cow shit. Shovel on our back, go! Scream, scream! Shovel, man, woman plus cow shit into the bush. That's what I'm telling you. From there, our things took over.
So when he first told me that I was going to be playing Catkiss, I wasn't particularly thrilled. The idea of playing a male character just seemed like a lot for me at that point, because I had other productions I was doing where I was obviously playing female characters. So it seemed like I wouldn't have enough time to really work and give that character the life that character deserves. So I wasn't particularly thrilled at first. But I warmed up to the idea because, I mean, it's not like I had a choice. I warmed up slowly to the idea. Then trying to give the character life, like our lecturer would say, it was a very, 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 very tedious process. Like, it was very tasking for me. And I still feel like I could have done more with the character. I could have done a whole lot more with the character if I had enough time, if I had enough help. Because, okay, first of all, I think I focused mainly on the character itself. Like, who is Catkiss? Like, Catkiss is this person that is... From the beginning, we see his he changes. Like, his attitude throughout the play is not constant at all. Even the director mentioned, he said he's like one of the most dynamic characters in the play. He starts off as a very cool, casual, cool guy. Anybody wants to be this guy, you know, talks once in a while, the kind of person everybody wants to be, mysterious. And then towards the middle of the play, he's erratic, he's almost crazy, like a mad person. And then towards the end, he's meek because he knows, oh, if I don't maintain myself, these people are going to send me out. So we see that change. So I try to focus on those levels of that character. The cool guy, the almost crazy guy, then the meek and humble guy towards the end.
Catkiss. There was a time where Catkiss was, for me, Catkiss was one of the few characters that had this character development. Because from the beginning, we saw that it was kind of indifferent. He was not speaking, was really indifferent about the situation. And he was the first person to go out, to leave the lepers colony. He went out, but he came back again because the world was hard outside. So, but when they moved to the internal disease hospital, there was a switch, a change in his character. He became psychologically troubled. So there was an instance where he was screaming, "The devil take you all. You have brought us to live besides dead. We are living besides ghosts. So in the night, what I hear is ghosts and their voices. In the daytime, I hear your voices too. Why can't you allow a man sleep or rest?" And by that period, he was also down with malaria. So probably that could have contributed to his outburst. So that was why I saw that the psychological impact of the disease on the characters.
You're leaving us. Handout.
You can't put that handout.
Yes. It's based on yes and copy and not on our right.
And what's wrong with it?
It's a favor.
And that's bad.
You don't need it.
It's withdrawn, man.
You can keep it.
What goodness?
We are serious.
Concerning Akot White, I see him as the author, Ola Rotimi's vision for vision of exemplary leadership for our country, Nigeria. Because first of all, he started as a choir master. So from his position as a choir master, he had this influence over the lepers. And yeah, it's a true life story. So he had this influence over the lepers. And he showed this empathy towards their cause. He was always fighting for them. Even when they had not, he wasn't an official leader, he wasn't officially chosen as a leader, but he was always fighting for their cause. He was the one that would meet the hospital authorities to plead for them, to plead for their cause and all that, even before they chose him as a leader. So when they finally chose him as a leader, it was just, we all knew this was coming because he already showed signs, his behaviors, he already showed that leadership quality. And I think the playwright, Ola Rotimi, was trying to point out that a leader, becoming a leader or being a leader doesn't really start from the election processes and all that. Being a leader is innate. It's something that you've always, it's a quality that you've always had. Even if you are probably in one corner of the world where nobody knows you, nobody recognizes your efforts, but still in that corner with few people, it's something that you could show without effort. So that was what he was trying. I think that was what he was trying to say with Akot White.
For me, playing Ikoli Akot White was beautiful. The first time when the director told me that I was going to be playing it, I was immediately happy because I was eyeing that role. And as I said, I'd always wanted my art to represent something, to mean something to a small group of people, to a large group of people. And then interpretation of Akot White. Earlier on, when I started learning about acting, when I started in the discipline, there was a mistake I always made, which was when I was given a role, I'd immediately just go and look for, because it's the internet age, it's the social media age, just directly go and look for past plays that have been done on that book, and that always almost influenced my interpretation. But when I picked the script, and it being a final year production, and it being this play, Hopes of the Living Dead, I wanted it to mean something from me as a person, apart from me being an actor, from me as a human being. And I first tapped into the struggles of the lepers in the play. Apart from me playing Ikoli Akot White, I just wanted to know what their experience was like. So I went into research. I went to UCH, I went on the internet. I went to see how lepers actually were. I went to see how their situation was so different from from the day-to-day existence of the regular person. And I think that already gave me an idea of the struggle I was to experience as Ikoli Akot White. And then me as an actor then, I went to make research on who the man Akot White was. And at first when I got the script, because I was supposed to be an activist and a revolutionary, I was playing Akot White violently. I was shouting and giving my lines with such violent disposition. And when I searched the man, I saw that the man wasn't as violent as I played it. He was a leader. He was a leader. He maintained his leadership position without having to shout and be angry all the time. And I think I tapped into that, and I started playing the character more subtly. And I discovered that it established my leadership more among my fellow actors. Already, even outside the production, an atmosphere just changed. They just saw me as some sort of person they could come talk to, come and meet. And it was beautiful to experience.
méjì, oh, di méjì, oh, di méjì.